The Irk is getting wider the further we walk along here as it approaches the centre of Middleton by the side of this derelict lodge mill. And here's the Irk on the other side of the bridge from Lodge Mill. As you can see, still wider river now, curving around towards the town centre.
So it disappears here.
Yeah.
And it reappears here. You can see how there's just like a little break off there.
Okay.
And also, when it reappears, it looks like it's a meeting point between the brook as well.
Yes. Right, well, we've just emerged from the subway into Tesco's car park, and at this point the river is culverted underneath. So we'll pick it up again, probably on another day, the other side of town. Oh, at least the other side of Tesco's. Hello, now we're on the other side of Middleton, just the other side of the road really from the shopping centre, and what we're looking at here is not actually the River Irk. This is Wince Brook, and it's about to join the River Irk, which is coming in from the right there, underneath those that rusty sort of bridge there, and it's completely obscured both by vegetation and the industrial premises, so this is about as near as we can get to the merger of the two waterways without getting pricked to death by brambles. And it's interesting to note that in volume terms Wince Brook is actually bigger than the Irk at this point, but the River Irk continues with the same name. I mean, Wince Brook is just a brook, so it's got to give way, but of course its waters now fortify the River Irk considerably. And we're actually here in Alkrington Woods Nature Reserve, which comes right to the edge of Middleton town centre, giving a lovely green oasis, and we'll follow the River Irk down on a good path for a considerable distance. And this is my first visit to Alkrington Woods for 44 years. Last came here with Stephen Meehan and Mick Smithson in January 1980. Happy times. Right, just through a gate you leave the factory behind and continue with the Irk on what is probably the most scenic stretch of the whole river, as it flows through the parkland at Alkrington Woods. As I say, I came here 44 years ago doing the Alkrington Woods Nature Trail, which I presume the path we're taking formed a part of. I must admit my memory isn't that accurate. Now then. And here's a focal point of Alkrington Woods, Alkrington Hall. This was built by Darcy Lever, who was a local industrialist, and he commissioned an Italian called Leone to design him a mansion for this parkland that he owned. And Leone was famous for introducing the Palladian style of architecture to Britain in the 18th century, and Alkrington Hall is apparently one of the best surviving examples in the country. Lime Hall in Derbyshire is also a Palladian mansion, and at one point I believe there was a bit of a museum created here, but now it has been divided into 3 private apartments. But there is a road runs right past it, so you can take a closer look. And this, I believe, is the oldest bridge over the River Irk. This is called Lever Bridge, and obviously connected the house to Middleton Township. There was apparently a building there before, but that was completely razed to the ground to create the mansion. And I think this bridge dates from 1637. It has been restored in part, but the basic core of the bridge, and you can see where there's sort of overlapping arches there, the basic core of the bridge dates back to 1637. Oh. And you can see on this onward stretch that the Irk has been straightened a bit. I suppose that might date back to Sir Darcy's attempts to make this an ordered parkland, or it might have been straightened for industrial reasons. But as you can see, you know, it is flowing in a straight canal-like channel here. There's the board over there telling you which bird life to look out for. We're here in the tail end of February, which is perhaps not the best time of year for the birds, but you know, you can hear some in the background.
We've had two weirds.
Yeah, can't get a best view from this point. We might get a better look further on, but just across the other side of the river are some man-made lodges which are now used for fishing, but were at one time constructed to serve the bleaching and dye works nearby, which may account for the canalising of the river just that we've just gone past. But we continue on through the woods. Yes, a bit further on you can see this choked up channel here, which I'm guessing must have something to do with the dye works, and I'm rather hoping it wasn't just a channel to let polluted water run into the river, but I suspect that might well have been the case, in which case it's a good job it's disused. You might be able to hear the traffic noise now. We're very close to the M60. Middleton as a town is like an island, completely surrounded by different motorways, so you're never far from one in these parts. And just a bit further on, you've got one of the lodges on your left-hand side. So get a good close-up view here. There could be, couldn't they? Yeah, Simon spotted a bit of a platform in the river and what looks like a
fly tipping. I know which one I hope it is.
Yeah, like some sort of trap for fish, perhaps. I'm not sure.
I mean, there's traps that give food to specific birds. I remember something like that at Martin Meehan when we went.
Yeah, well, maybe. So, like I said, this is the, despite the traffic noise, this is still the scenic section. As you can tell here, we're actually very close to the Middleton Manchester Road, and there's easy access to the reserve from this point. That's the main lake that I was talking about. As you can see, there's geese and gulls happily there today, but we continue down a muddier stretch of the River Irk. Yeah, this stretch of the Irk is very muddy. You have to watch your footing in places, and it's only scenic on one side, so you've got a nice grassy wooded slope to the left, but on the right you've got corrugated iron and prefabricated buildings and old diggers. So This is a nice left stretch.
In fact, the right's quite nice for people who enjoy industrial type stuff.
Well, that's true. Right, and at this point, as you go under the power lines, the motorway is running along the bank up to your left. So you can't see it, but you can certainly hear it. And at this time of year, this path is pretty waterlogged. And here we're coming up to the bridge, taking us under the M60. Weather not looking too great at the moment, but I suppose if there's a cloud burst, we've got somewhere to shelter. Noisy weir here. I said that's a noisy weir.
What? I'm very often a very forgiving person. You know, if somebody does something to me, it's just water under the bridge.
Yeah. Interesting that the path is very sandy here.
Is this artificial?
I don't know whether people have walked it away or the rain's washed it away on the open stretches.
I heavily doubt that people have walked it away.
Yeah. Oops. And here we are on the other side.